Alright, I'll give you a quick run through on a 700 Pioneer Honda dual battery setup. There's a couple videos out there for 1,000. Couple things I didn't understand in those videos that I've kind of figured out now. Maybe this will help somebody else. But basically, you got the battery isolator, which cuts in, cuts out. So you got positive coming in, positive charging your second battery, grounded. I got my winch hooked up to direct power, so that way when vehicle's off or whatever, I can still use my winch. You got a battery disconnect or a breaker switch. This just basically is set up through the Stinger, so that way when I'm working on all the accessories, I can disconnect and work on all the accessories without getting shocked. So you also got a second battery isolator. With this is a Stinger. What this does is you can give this power here, that activates the solenoid, gives power to the box through the disconnect to the wire, or to the battery, straight to the battery. So with that connected, giving this Stinger 12 volts will activate the solenoid and give you power from your battery to your fuse box, so you can run your rocker switches without having the key on, and only on the second battery, because the isolator is going to cut out and not draw all your accessories off of your starting battery, which is a problem with these Pioneers because everything's electronics. So if you're running a winch and a stereo and lights, and you're running through the mud or something, everything's electronic, transmission shifted, so people are running into problems there. I did this. I'm not having that problem, but I did it anyways, just because I'm planning to run a lot of accessories. One thing I wasn't really clear with was how they got key on accessories. Well, this thing right here was just sitting here. It comes off of the key harness. The key harness comes out, it splits up into a bunch of different ways, goes along to the fuse box. This one's just dead end, so I figured I'd take it apart and figure out which one it is. I mean, a simple voltmeter, ground, put your red on there, turn your key, whichever one gives you 12 volts. That's it. That 12 volts runs to my voltmeter. That 12 volts also runs to my Stinger. So when I turn the switch on, sends power to my Stinger, shows me my voltage of the starting battery, kicks on all the accessories, shows me my whole light bar, or my whole light switches. Give you a quick look at that. So I can come in here, turn the key on, get both starting, secondary, all the rear lights, rocker lights. I got my Sasquatch lights as my radio. My winch is going to be, I just got this on my second battery setup, so when I'm sitting somewhere, I want to listen to music, run my stereo, whatever the case is, I can sit here, have my rock lights on, have the stereo bumping, whatever. Come in here, secondary switch. I made this box because I've been seeing, you're just gonna have a complete mess back there if you don't do something like that. Problem with doing something like this is now you have to change one or two things around here with your shifter. So the shifter is originally bent that way, and it will hit this. Simple fix to that is, see that little spring? Put a flathead screwdriver in there, pry it off, undo the bolt, pull the bolt out, turn the handle around, bolt back in, put the spring back on, you're good to go. All my wires are inside that little box. A couple little things I got, a little horn. That's my volume switch for my radio. I just got the winch hooked up in here. I got that little light for the tail whips, this and that, so I can sit here, turn my winch. That's it, man. Dual battery setup. Run all my accessories.